head into the Zoom room for your weather forecast, your work week weather forecast, and welcome back to Landon.
Look who is back.
Good morning. How are you all doing today? Let me turn my camera around. There you go.
Yeah, we're doing okay. You know, I wish we could quote that song and basically say like "Ain't no sunshine when he's gone," and we probably could because there was a lot of rain when you were on your trip, man. What was up with that?
Yeah, that's usually what happens when I leave. I know there was a couple earthquakes in the area. The Pagan volcano started erupting. There's been a little bit of tropical weather, but usually things happen when somebody's off island from the office. But I'm trying to clear up the rain. Maybe by end of the week we'll have a better outlook for the island, but it's not too bad out there this morning. We got some spotty showers out there just to start the day out. Let me switch my camera around. There we go. So there's one of those spots right there that's passing over the Dedido area. But what we're going to be watching out for is sitting off to our east and southeast. There's not much out there right now. You see a lot of abundant sunshine, but way out on the horizon, if you're on the east side of the island, look out over the ocean. You're going to be seeing some clouds building up as we go through the late morning and early afternoon hours as we have a surface feature coming our way. So let me go into my office and I'll show you exactly what we're going to be looking at over the next 36, 48 hours. So it is great to be back in the building. I'm still getting spun up on things and some 2,000 emails that I've missed out on over the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, biggest question, how was your jet lag?
The jet lag was not too bad. I'm used to working shift work, so it's like glorified shift work for the most part. So, you know, you just go in there with an open mind. You get a lot of sleep before you fly. Then I like to drink coffee and watch movies the entire flight and then crash when I get to wherever I'm going to. And that usually minimizes the jet lag features for me. So, yeah, what we're looking at with the weather right now, this is just that spotty stuff that we're seeing passing over the island from the east. We have light east winds this morning. That's going to be the theme, at least for the next 6 to 8 hours. But zooming out the camera, we have a lot of weather sitting off to our east. So this is all going to be coming our way this afternoon and evening. So the clouds will be increasing to the afternoon and early evening hours. The exact timing is a little bit uncertain whether it's going to be early evening arrival for these showers and thunderstorms, or will it be more into the late evening, early overnight hours. But we're going to see a wetter period coming up tonight through tomorrow morning. Farther to our west, if anybody are watching the tropical weather pattern, well, we have two tropical storms here sitting off to our west. The good news is both of these are not a threat to Guam and the Mariana Islands, and they are not a threat to our Western Micronesia brothers and sisters in Palau and Yap. So the first one's Tropical Storm Kansan. I believe that's making landfall over Samar. It's passing through the Philippines. As it does so, it's going to keep the intensities mitigated as it proceeds generally northwestward across the Philippines. The other one, Tropical Storm 19W, that one's going to keep off in the Philippine Sea well west of us and move away generally in a direction toward Taiwan. The longer term pattern and track for that one's a little bit uncertain, but that one, both of these remains no threat to us. Elsewhere across the region, there are no suspect areas for development. That's the good news. We have a little bit of an ITCZ going across Eastern Micronesia. That'll bring needed rainfall to the islands down there as some of the drought conditions starting to reappear across the region. So go ahead and cue up the slides, Jason. We'll get right on into the headlines. So the risk of rip currents for the Guam and the Sinai, moderate along East Basin Reefs. Guam fire danger is low. You mentioned we had a lot of rainfall. We had a pretty wet August, and Guam was one of the wettest locations in the Western Pacific, and our area of responsibility for the month of August. So that was good news for us, much needed rainfall. Tropical weather to the west, no suspect areas elsewhere in the region. For Micronesia, we are seeing the abnormally dry to moderate drought conditions developing across parts of Eastern Micronesia. But the good news is we do have bouts of ITCZ bringing showers to areas of Eastern Micronesia. That's going to meander to and from. Next slide, current conditions. Not too bad this morning, light east winds across the region. Rainfall yesterday just above a nickel here at the airport. But if you're up in northern parts, Dedido, Jigo, I was trying to do some bush cutting yesterday. I had to catch up on 6 weeks of yard work. It would not stop raining for about a 3-hour period. So it was much wetter to the north, drier to the south. The drought conditions on the next slide. This is the U.S.-affiliated Pacific Islands from the U.S. Drought Monitor. Drought-free conditions across western Micronesia and the Mariana Islands, but we are starting to see those dry conditions appear across areas central and eastern Micronesia, and that's going to be the theme until we get more abundant rainfalls across Micronesia. And that's going to be hinged closely to the climate pattern as that evolves, whether we're going to stay in a NSIL neutral condition or go towards a weak La Nina. More on that in the coming weeks. The next slide, this is the Joint Typhoon Warning Center showing those tropical storms Kansan near the Philippines and 19W. It remains unnamed at this time until the Japan Meteorological Agency fixes it as tropical storm strength intensity. And the charts for both of those storms are on the next slide. Again, no threat to Guam and the Sinai or to Palau and Yap. These will keep well to our west and move away from the area. Good news for us. But if you're traveling to Manila, you might want to check your flight status very carefully because this would be all going towards Manila, that tropical storm, Kansan, passing near Manila into the Manila Bay in the next couple of days. So watch out for that if you're heading toward the Philippines. The next slide, this is our polar orbiting scatterometry showing that busy pattern. So you see Guam and the Sinai in the middle. We have that area, I have that area circled near Chuk. That's that surface trough that's coming up towards us. And what I've circled there, those are the stronger winds right there. So right now we have the east light winds today, but those winds will start to shift and turn toward the southeast and the south as we go into the evening and overnight hours. They could pick up dramatically overnight for a brief period of stronger gusty winds as this trough really pushes through, bringing showers and thunderstorms. Farther to our east, near Wake Island, we have an upper level low. That's that large blue sea. That's the upper level circulation or touch cell. That's the generator of thunderstorms and lightning. That's going to be drifting gradually our way toward the end of the week and could give us some isolated thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. The next slide. The seas, not too bad this week. We're going to be well below advisory levels, but you see that peak in this larger image. That's going to be our peak associated with the passage of the surface trough as we go into the overnight hours. Those seas will probably build to from 4 to 6 feet today to around 5 to 7 feet overnight and then drop quickly by Wednesday night, and conditions will calm across the region. For the rest of the week, once we get to the surface trough over the next 36 hours, things will improve through midweek and then into the end of the week. And the weekend, for now, looks pretty dry. So I'll try not to do any yard work so it can stay that way. I will not touch my motorcycle because usually if I take my bike out, that's when the showers and thunderstorms arrive.
Of course.
So not too bad for the rest of the week. If you go to the next slide, I know I might bore you all with the weather. And this picture, these are two of my friends that we are traveling with. We happened to link up a few days in the States. And so my friend on the left, Brian, that's his first time in the States ever. They both live here on Guam. And so we are able to link up in the States and travel. And I showed them my hometown, but they missed most of it. They were sleeping most of the time.
And you know what? Every time I travel, I wear my travel pillow the exact same way. It's a life hack. It actually works.
But I usually wear it when I drive in case I fall asleep at the wheel. So, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. The next picture, I did a lot of traveling. It was really nice to get away. And the best part about it was when I was in Arizona, Utah, and Nevada was the nature. I've never been to the Southwest states before, and I didn't expect much from the Southwest desert. But my gosh, if you've never been to the Southwestern states, I strongly recommend you get out there. It's absolutely amazing. Every day was breathtaking with beauty, the mountains, the scenery, Horseshoe Bend and Page, Arizona, the Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, the mighty power of what man can accomplish when they work together to build that dam, and then the bridge.
How about the mighty power of what man can accomplish when everybody just does what they're supposed to and get rid of the damn coronavirus? I'd like to see that.
You know, I would love to see that. I really miss traveling. I want to get back to traveling again, just to really take to the skies and see new places, because living here on Guam, that's one of the beauties of living here. You can really hop to so many different places and see so many cultures within a short distance of travel.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, Landon, you know, you were born and raised in the Carolinas and everything like that, but you've also made Guam your home, so it's good to have you back and where you now rest your head and everything like that. And our island is better to have you here. So, you know, welcome home, and hope it was a good trip. It looked like it. Yeah. I follow you on Facebook, of course. We're Facebook friends, and you look like you're having a blast, my friend.
Well, I got a new friend also. It was a Christmas ornament I found at Walmart.
Nice.
If you ever watch Stranger Things, I was like, this is a face a mother could love. I couldn't resist buying it.
That also makes a great Halloween costume. Hopefully, we're going to be able to have a semi-decent Halloween this year. And I see in this picture, I'm zooming in on this real quick. You actually found a street sign with your namesake on it.
Yeah, that's a little area, or I guess you could call it a township in the county next to where I grew up. It's called Aydlett, North Carolina, and that was, I believe, named after my great-grandfather. And there's a post office. I think he was the first postmaster for that post office, and they named it after him.
Wow. That is super cool. Well, thanks for sharing some of your travels with us and everything like that. Hope you and your friends are all staying safe and you guys are doing well, and we look forward to working with you again. Your brother and Paul Stanko, fantastic. We tried to get it trending when Brandon was on. We tried to use the hashtag Landon Who, but it didn't trend. So you're back in the driver's seat, man.
It is good to be back here, and like I said, I'm still behind on emails, so apologies if anybody's emailing me right now.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, and for your news in Chamorro now, here is Senor Pete Anderson with your Chamorro News.
Buenos updates to get some to be sa morgon ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mito,